Hello and welcome to a Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. Today we have some images to look at, I think 8 or so, and some of them actually add some interesting hints at both the story and the lore going forward. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's just start. So I'm going to begin here with this image of the Parasaurolophus from... well, it's from Camp Cretaceous originally, but this is obviously the Chaos Theory version. I do believe it's the Lux version from Camp Cretaceous, and it looks pretty good. This was apparently from a Netflix Italy channel or something, Italian Netflix channel or something, from what I could tell, or what the person said at least from where I got the image. So I don't actually know where it's from, so if it doesn't show up and it's not actually from the show, then I guess that's a shame. But it's a pretty good looking picture of the Parasaurolophus, which we knew was going to be in the show, but I don't believe, except for the toy, which released like November, I think the images of the toy came out. Other than that, we actually hadn't seen it yet. So we now seen the Parasaurolophus, and I think it looks pretty good. Sorry about the quality of this image. It's obviously meant for the banner of Netflix. I believe that's where it came from. But here we have the first one. There's two we're going to look at for this. And here we have what seems to be the Allosaurus and the Pachyrhinosaurus, I believe, fighting with Darius there, and it looks really good. And strangely, actually, if you look at the hands of the Allosaurus, they look correct, but they weren't in the trailer. They were like facing downwards like the raptors, while in the films they're like facing inwards like they should be. So maybe, who knows how it is? Maybe this isn't actually taken from the show and is just a image made for the show. But it looks pretty good, and obviously the Allosaurus is going to play a major part in the show, otherwise it wouldn't be being shown as much as it is. Let's move on to the last image of these before we go on to the interesting stuff. Again, the quality for this image isn't great, but it is clearly a Netflix banner art for the show, and it has Bumpy, which seems to be in like a normal field, and Ben hugging him like he does in basically every time they meet. So this is like, even though it was obviously confirmed since Bumpy was in the trailer and in those images released the other day, Bumpy's 100% on the mainland, and obviously other dinosaurs which were on Manticore Island are probably also on the mainland. So we got Big E.T. is confirmed, but we could get Toro, we could get the Rebel, and the other one, I forgot its name, the Hybrid, even though I don't think they'll bring those in. And also we could get Spinosaurus, which I think would be an interesting one, because then we'd have all three main Spinosaurids in the show. But this image is cool, and the quality isn't great, so I can't really talk much about it, but even with the low quality they look really good, so I think that should be a good thing. Now we have the interesting one, a magazine called the Dino Times, which has been set within universe, interviewing the Nublar 6 years after they got off the island. So obviously this is like an anniversary magazine cover. So we'll go through all the pages, because there's one for every camper except for one, for obvious reasons, so there's 6 of them. And then here, so on the front it says the Dino Times, who are the Nublar 6, meet the miraculous, I can't English, sorry, the miraculous survivors of the Jurassic World catastrophe in this exclusive celebrating the anniversary of their return. So obviously it's in-universe magazine. In our world it's just a way to show the campers in a good way, because it shows a full model of them basically, and then says some stuff about how they're doing now in the real world. So I'll try and read it out, everything on it, but I'm really not great at reading stuff like this, because it just I kind of miss out stuff and then it gets confusing, so bear with me. Okay, starting with Darius, we get a good look at him. So Darius Bauman never would have expected a shy, I wouldn't call him shy really, but anyway, a nerdy kid from Oakland could become the leader of the Nublar survivors. Back at camp I had to learn to trust myself and my friends to make it through. It was a terrifying experience, but what they were doing to those dinosaurs at that facility just wasn't right. Someone had to do something. So obviously it's talking about Manticore Island. So they did tell people about what happened at Manticore Island, which kind of says who will be hunting them down quite easily, because as we probably know with recent events, you don't want to say bad things about a big company because it may end up with you, quote unquote, killing yourself. So, you know, we'll see. But because obviously they would have known about Biosyn working with them, so obviously maybe Biosyn wants them to be silenced due to this looking bad on them. I don't know why they waited 6 years. I feel like if you're gonna do it, you know, just do it when you can. But I suppose the dinosaurs being in the mainland is the perfect cover-up. They just all conveniently survived 6 months on Is the Nublar fine, and then all suddenly died to raptor attacks out of nowhere. You know, very non-suspicious. One cool thing about Darius, it seems he's working with the DPW now, which is the Department of Prehistoric Wildlife, which I think are the ones from Jurassic World Evolution 2. So, you know, he's doing his bit for the dinosaurs after accidentally murdering some people on an island or something. Very nice. And then the second page is about Ben. It mentions how he used to be scared of everything, and also mentions Bumpy. And the interesting thing is, I think he would be like 21 now, right? But he's only just starting college. I'm no expert in America and how it works, but don't you start college earlier, or is it different? Because he can go to university, which is basically the same thing, at 18. So I'd assume you can also go there at 18 in America, but who knows? I don't know. So we'll say that is Ben. Like, if you want to read the entire thing, it's up on the screen. I would read it out, but I would make it unintelligible if I tried to read it out. So I'm just going to say the important lore bits for you, and then you can read it out if you want. So let's just move on from Ben. So next here we have Sammy, and seems Sammy now owns her own ranch. Don't know what they'll be doing on that. They could be doing some normal dinosaur stuff or animals, who knows. But I believe she lives with Yaz now. It kind of says, kind of doesn't, it's kind of implied. If you want to read it, you can. But I feel Sammy might become more of a main character in this one compared to how she was in Camp Cretaceous, because one, she's shown the most in the trailer other than Ben and Darius, and two, she's third on this list. So maybe this is going in how important the character is to the story, who knows. But yeah, we get a better look at Sammy's model. Again, pretty good design. And they look a lot better in this than they did in the trailer. Some of the designs in the trailer, probably because it's moving fast. And, you know, it's hard to see. They didn't look that good, but now I would say they actually look pretty good. So let's move on to Yaz. So now we finally get a good look at Yaz's model for the show, because of course in the trailer you don't really see it. Everyone else you kind of get to see like what they look like fully, but Yaz you didn't really. But it seems she still has the PTSD slash anxiety slash whatever you want to call it from season 4 and 5 of Camp Cretaceous. So maybe they will you know, have some more nightmare sequences. And that would be a good way to show off some you know, dinosaurs from Jurassic World, or even show Jurassic World without actually having to go to Isla Nublar, because I feel like they probably won't go off out of America anywhere to any islands, because that may not go down well, since, well, people want dinosaurs in the mainland, and so far this show seems to have done that very well. But also, looking at it, the house, the red house behind Jazz here is the same one in the trailer where that guy gets attacked by the Beckel Spinax. I just noticed that, so that will probably mean this could be Yaz and Sammy's house. So I don't know who that guy was that got grabbed, but I suppose we'll find out in the show. And also I believe Yaz and Sammy are living together. It doesn't really mention, but they're definitely still together, as they wouldn't talk about it in this thingy if they weren't. So, and finally we got Kenji, who didn't want to comment on his father being arrested, which is fair enough. So obviously they definitely told people, which as I said earlier, will definitely be one of the reasons they're being hunted down, because, you know, they're throwing light shade on very powerful companies, because in Jurassic World these companies probably own everything. They're probably the richest companies, because, you know, dinosaurs and all that. But anyway, it seems Kenji's moved out from Darius and now owns a climbing school, which is an interesting character development, seeing how there was not much climbing in any of the show. But you know what, that's fair enough. I don't like his model. I think he's the worst looking one. He looks almost identical to what he did in the original show and in the 2018 section of the original show, and his haircut isn't great. But you know what? I suppose he's climbing now, so that's cool. And a more interesting thing, they'd actually mention Brooklyn in here as one of the reasons he came back to normal life. So this was obviously made before Brooklyn dies, in quotes. But as you may be able to tell in the image, the page is ripped. So clearly Brooklyn's page was ripped out by someone, probably Darius or whoever had this magazine. Which is a cool detail, which I didn't see at first, but yeah, that's actually a really cool detail. The fact that they have ripped Brooklyn's page out, because obviously it mentions the Nublar 6. If Brooklyn was dead when this was made, then they wouldn't call it that. They would probably have like a little in memory of blah 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 section. So yeah, I mean, that's all I have to look at. There's some interesting lore stuff for the show within this magazine of sorts, which I think is cool, and it also shows a good design for all their models. Like, then we can see what all the characters will look like now they're between 18 and 22, so you know, they've aged quite a lot in 6 years because, well, I suppose stress and stuff for some of them. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, sorry it's a bit of waffling, but I don't really know how else to talk about this other than waffling. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, as I said earlier, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.